Hi, folks. Welcome to week 3, EDU 715. I'm teaching 2 classes, so I had to get that straight right off. Uh, all I can say is I am so impressed with the discussion board responses that you gave. As you know, there's 25 people in this class. So that's a pretty big class. And I read every single one of them, enjoyed every single one of them. It was interesting that one of the prompts or one of the questions came up a lot, but your responses were so varied. And I think that's what made me so impressed with those responses. And not that I was impressed that so many things are going on in schools, but the responses again were varied, and they were expanded upon with a lot of reflection. And I think you really could gain a lot of information from each other by reading not only your colleagues that you responded to and maybe others. But anyways, thank you so much for a powerful week 2. I really appreciate it. I'm sure you did too. So what's going on in week 3? Well, it's a packed week. And I'm going to start off by saying that you have readings. You have 2 chapters to read. And I know some of you have online resources that don't have chapters in. So please go back to the resource that I gave you prior to help you find out the content that you're supposed to be reading. And so I'm going to say reading now, and I'm going to probably say it again too. You do have a lot of reading, but it means so much, and it's going to help you so much in designing your strategic plan paper, your issues-based paper. So please try to keep on top of that. It's critical. You also have a video. You actually have a couple, but one of the videos is mental models. It's really good. It's brief. It's about 3 minutes or so, but it talks about how mental models position us in the world. And I won't give it away, but he talks about driving and coming to a stop sign and some of the automatics, some of the conscious behaviors that we have. But anyways, it's very interesting to read, to listen to. Colin Powell is another one of the people that is doing a video, and he always has, amazing things to talk about and share, with his expertise. Then we have a final one, and that video is what you're going to write about in the discussion board. And so I just have a little note here. Oh, I wanted to remind you that you're going into groups now in week 3, and you will be in groups for a few weeks in the discussion board. And since there are so many of you, I broke you into 4 groups, and there's one group of 7 and the other groups are 6. So 6 and 7 people really give you a nice amount of peers to, touch base with and read their responses. But then it's not so overwhelming that, where do I go type thing. And, so I think it's a great cluster, and I think you'll learn a lot from each other. So discussion board. In addition to that, you're going to start your issues-based paper. I have always enjoyed this paper. And again, many years ago, I was in part design for this course, and some of the pieces that were designed then are still there because issues-based information doesn't change that much. It's the topics that we talk about that probably change. So what we're going to write about now is the introduction. Okay, and there's 2 parts to your paper. There is an exemplar there. So you're going to, first of all, identify a problem. And the second part is you're going to give evidence of statistics or such, and why is that a problem. SWOT, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats, is part of your paper. As I shared, you do have an exemplar, but I want to share with you right here very quickly. One of the students allowed me to share this. And actually, this particular paper that I'm showing you, well, I'm not showing you the whole paper, but his paper, he put in his e-portfolio that's at the end of the CAGS program. Okay, so keep that in mind as you save pieces. So again, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. So the problem that he came up with was in New York, where he was, they're having some current concerns about critical reading and writing scores. So identifying those strengths, and then what were the weaknesses? And this is basically what the issues-based paper was going to focus on. The next step is to design SMART goals in a budget. So when he was designing SMART goals, he was thinking about this. And then what are the opportunities, though, that they have? You know, talking about professional development. And finally, the threats, always the budget, and you will design a budget. So I wanted to share that with you and just explain it a little bit to give you a flavor of what the paper was about. And again, discussion board, have your first initial discussion board done by Wednesday. Phenomenal, off the charge APA. Everybody used it so eloquently. Thank you. That was wonderful. And then your final again, after responding back to 2 peers by Sunday, and then your paper is due as well. And that paper is only part of your total paper, your final paper in the end. Okay, there's so much going on. You know, as I'm thinking and reading about the discussion boards, I'm thinking about you dealing with this in the schools with everything going on, with pandemic. I mean, the list goes on. So I continue to say, and please take care of yourselves. Take moments, seconds, whatever it is, just here and there if you need to. But take a breather. Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. And please take care of yourself because I'm thinking of you very much. Okay. Any questions? CMARCOTTE@une.edu or my text 207-284-3680. And I'm really building some texting relationships with people. So feel free. Okay. Take care of yourself. I appreciate what you do more than you'd ever know. Thank you very much.